Hello, welcome to the Redmen TV. It's player rating time for the last time this season. What we've done is something a little bit different. We've gone through every single player rating show that I've done throughout the season, and if anybody stood in for me, we have amalgamated all of the marks to get the definitive YouTube Liverpool FC player ratings for the entirety of the 2016-2017 season. So let's get straight into it. In last place, I'm so sorry, it's Conor Randall. He got a 4, just 1 4. Don't remember it, to be honest with you. Conor, if you're watching, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Okay, I'm sorry again. It's Harry Wilson. He's had a great season for the under-23. Scored tons and tons of goals. But in the first team, he got an average rating from me of 6 for this season. I'm sure he'll improve on it. You know what? Work to do, Harry. I know you'll be disappointed. You can step it up next season. You can do better than that average rating of 6. The first team, the first proper first teamer, Alberto Moreno, has an average of only 6 for the entire season. Look, you know, he's had some shockers this season. If you look at our actual player rating show on the website that we're doing, you know, 2 parts where 4 of us in depth give ratings to every single player, you'll see that actually 6 might have been a little bit kind. Okay, goalkeeper next, it's Liverpool. It's only an average rating of 6.06. But you know what, I'll stand by this one because everybody said he's been poor this season as he had a couple of bad games, don't get me wrong. But when you look at the 10 or so appearances that he's had, I think, in fairness, 6 is footy manager marking. That's an average game. That's an average season. We expected more, yes, but I think that's a fair reflection of where Luis Karius is. Okay, another one that we thought we'd see a lot more of this season, it's Marco Grujic, 6.33. Yeah, you know what? He got injured early on in the campaign, didn't make as many appearances as we thought. He had a strong pre-season. We really thought he'd kick on. Latter half of the season, we started to see him a couple of times towards the end, but it was really more utilised in that long ball, target man type of a position. And I don't really think that's what he's about. I think he's much better than that. But let's see, next season, I reckon he'll be much higher and he'll be a much more utilised member of the squad. Okay, Shea Ojo, only a 6.5 on the season from me. Joe Gomez is next, yeah, 6.5 again for Joey. Another fella who came back from a massive injury and, you know, didn't really get started this season. Those cup games that he came into didn't look great, didn't look the best, you know, against Leeds and stuff. And I wonder whether Klopp's taking him out the firing line to really make sure that he gets fully recovered from that injury for an assault on next season. Yeah, a player that I didn't think I'd be rating this season, Ovie Ejaria, 6.6. Look, again, whenever he sort of played in pre-season, he looked good, he's comfortable on the ball. I like the looks of this guy as a player. I think he was played at a position maybe once when he came on this season. But yeah, all in all, for a guy that I didn't expect to see, I'll stand by that mark of 6.6. Okay, it's James Milner next, 6.69. I must admit, when we did the player rating show, be out on the website again, I gave him a much higher mark than this, and you know, I strongly believe that he's had a really good season, but when you look at it each week, he's obviously had a lot of 6s and a lot of 7s, and he's not really hit the heights that I thought maybe he'd hit earlier on in the season. Is it a bit of recency bias that a lot of people are giving him poor marks? Maybe not. Okay, yeah, Divock Origi, 6.74. I think, look, Liverpool fans know that he struggled this season. I think, you know, even when he scored goals, I think he's failed to perform as I'd expect from a Liverpool centre forward. Divock Origi just hasn't performed as well as Roberto Firmino in that role. All that being said, to see him, you know, lower down this list than Daniel Sturridge, maybe I've got something wrong there. Ben Woodburn next, 6.8. Yeah, you know what, again, another guy that I didn't expect to see this season, but, you know, when he's come in, he scored that goal in the cup, that was one of the best celebrations we had all season long, and, you know, big things to come from Ben Woodburn. If you can get a 6.8 off me this season, imagine what he can get next. Ragnar Klavan, yeah, it's about right, to be honest. I think, you know, As I say, I think 6 is an average mark in a football game. I think you've got to do something to improve upon that, and you've got to do badly to lose points from there. But yeah, you know what? I think above average season, above what I expected to see from Ragnar Klavan this season. I think I've got quite a lot of these marks right, to be honest. I think, you know, when I had the idea of this show, I was thinking to myself, I'm going to be way off. And I think, you know what, with Moreno being a 6, maybe I have been way off, and there's a few further up the list that you need to keep your eyes peeled for. But in this case, I think I've got it pretty right. Mr. Consistency himself, 6.89. Yes, he was a 6 or a 7 all season long. It's Nathaniel Klein, a place I don't believe Liverpool need to improve upon next season. I think he's like maybe one of your last jobs that you do if you really want to replace somebody in this side. I think there's, you know, you can spend a lot more money elsewhere and get a lot more for your money. Defending-wise, Nathaniel Klein's a beast. His tackling's great, his position's great. He's not the tallest of players, but you know what? That's just that. Going forward is where he struggles a little bit this season. Maybe that's why we've not seen him enter into the 7s or 8s this season. 6.92 for Dejan Lovren. Yeah, pretty happy with that. But Emre Can at 6.94. I felt he was going to get a higher mark than that. I really did. I think, you know, the back end of this season, maybe it's that, maybe it's recency bias, maybe it's because I remember the back end of the season more than I remember the first parts of the season. But, you know, when he was shifted around positions, yeah, maybe I'm right. Maybe he wasn't as good. When he hit this stride in that number 6, though, he looked great. And I to be honest, I was hoping that he'd get a higher mark than that, because the back end of this season, he really made the team tick. And, you know, he dragged this team through some games, you know, that goal against Watford. But not only that, the tackling, his determination, all that type of stuff. He really dragged the team through hard times at times. I'm a little disappointed I've marked him so lowly, to be honest. But you know what? These are all quite low marks. Yeah, apparently I thought Lucas had a better season than Emre Can. Bobby Firmino, 7.05. I feel sly on him. You know, whenever he's played up top, he was fantastic for me. You know, he didn't score as many goals as he should have, but he brought people into play. He enabled Coutinho, he enabled Sadio Mane to play their game, Adam Lallana, all that. His movement's tremendous. It's when he was shifted out to the left wing to cover Coutinho, when he was shifted out to the right. I felt that has really, really hurt his average rating this season. Little surprised I gave Sturridge a higher mark than Firmino. Yeah, that's it. Thank goodness Gini Wijnaldum beat Daniel Sturridge's mark, though. 7.08. I still feel he performed better than that over the course of the entire season. I think I've been a bit harsh. I think someone must have given him a 1 in my absence. Yeah, Kev Stewart, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I like him as a player. I think he's been good. I think, you know, he hasn't had the opportunities this season. He was bombed out of the squad for a large part of it. You know, whether he lost it in Klopp's eyes, I don't know. But from the performances I've seen, apparently I thought he was really good this season. Trent, 7.11. I'm happy with that. You know, he struggled a little bit against Anthony Martial against Manchester United and stuff. But other than that, I think he come in, he done a very, very good job. And, you know, moving forward to this right-back position is always up for debate with Liverpool fans. And, you know, Trent Alexander-Arnold, for me, if he can get onto the field, I think he'll prove that he could be a very good option at right back. You know, I don't believe that Klein needs upgrading, but for those games where you really want to push on and you're relying on Klein throwing balls into the box, then in those instances, maybe Trent Alexander-Arnold's the future. Phil Coutinho, Liverpool's 7th best player of the season, according to me. Yeah, I mean, I feel a bit harsh on Phil. You know, he's won so many points this season. He's scored so many important goals. Top scorer, of course. Yeah, I feel a little bit sly on him. 7.21 average rating. I mean, he had some really poor performances when he came back from injury, and apparently I didn't rate his performances before his injury. What do I know? I'm happy with this one. Joel Matip, 7.23, average rating all season long. Yeah, I think that's about right. I think he has played above a 7 every single game. Loads of 8, couple of 9s. Yeah, I'm happy with that. I think that's a good mark. A. You know I love Jordan Henderson. He was always going to be up there. 5th best player of the year. I don't think that's harsh. I don't think that's above where he needs to be either. I think that's a fair reflection of Jordan Henderson's season. I mean, look, every time he played for me, apart from Burnley, he was fantastic this season. Real captain's performances a lot of the time. Really drove us on and decided where we were going to play and how we were going to play. And everything came from Jordan Henderson. And you know what? I'm really happy with that, Mark, because I think it's very easy to forget just how good he was this season. Simon Mignolet, you know what? Loads of people have been saying to me over the last week or so that Mignolet deserves to be high up. Apparently, I thought so too. You know, 2 mistakes this season, maybe just the one if you're not classing the free kick against Chelsea. Some people say he didn't have a chance regardless. But either way, every other performance for me was very, very good. And towards the back end of the season, when we needed our keeper, he could have been the reason that we got into the Champions League. You know, West Brom, Stoke, those saves he made in those games, they were probably the difference. Liverpool's 3rd best player of the year, Danny Ings, according to me, 7.5. I mean, he played 49 minutes this season against Derby and against Spurs. Apparently, I really liked one of them. I've given him an 8, and I've given him a 7 in the other. Liverpool's 3rd best player of the year, ladies and gentlemen, Danny Ings. Moving on to the 2nd best player of the year, Adam Lallana. You know what? I'm quite happy with that. If you take Danny Ings out, you got Lallana, you got Mignolet, you got Henderson, you got Matip, and you got Coutinho. I think I've done a pretty all right job there. Adam Lallana, 7.71 for the season. England's best player this season as well. Had an outstanding year whenever he's been on the pitch. You know what? I am pretty happy with that, which only means there's one more position, one more player rating, player of the season. It's Sadio Mane, you know it, I know it, 7.86. He's done outstanding this year. I'll be honest, these marks are really low, but I think when you take the substitutes out, I think I've done all right. Let me know how you think I've done in the comments section below. If you want to watch more videos, go click the video there. You can watch that. Subscribe to the Redmen TV for all your player ratings, for all the pre-season and all the next season as well. Anyway, thanks for watching. Cheers.